What's the secret to making homemade marinara sauce in 30 minutes that tastes like it simmered all day? I'm going to show you. I'm Christina from It Is a Keeper, and I share tried and true recipes that anyone can make. I believe if you can read, you can cook. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm showing you how to make my go-to 30-minute marinara that is perfect for busy nights. Make sure you stay tuned to the end to learn my favorite hacks for making this sauce even better. And be sure to grab the full printable recipe in the video description below. So the first thing we need to do for our homemade marinara is to get our aromatics going. So to this pot, I'm going to add a bit of olive oil. Now it's nice and warm because my olive oil went right to shimmering. And to here, I'm going to add a really hot, a diced onion. And we're not looking for color, we're just looking to sweat this onion down a bit. So the secret to this sauce is building flavor, right? Because that's what we get when it simmers all day. So every step we're going to do is all about building that flavor. So it starts with the onion. We're getting all of that flavor into the olive oil in the pan. Okay, so our onions are starting to look good. They're softening up nicely. To this, I'm going to add some minced garlic. Now this is quite a bit of garlic here. I have about 6 cloves in here. And this, we don't need to cook this very long. We just want to stir it around maybe 30 seconds, no longer than a minute, just until it's fragrant. So when you start smelling that garlic aroma, it's time to move on. We don't want it to burn, and minced garlic burns very fast. And when it burns, it's bitter. And that's not the flavor we want to build. All right, so now we're going to continue building that flavor. And I have here some Italian seasoning blend. So I'm going to put that in first, along with a couple of bay leaves. I'm just going to actually use the bay leaves to shoot them in. Now, don't skip the bay leaf phase. They're very, very important here. But we want to put this seasoning blend in, this Italian seasoning blend. We want to put it in a little early because we want the heat from the pan to wake up the seasonings. So all the oregano and the dried basil and dried parsley and there's crushed red pepper in there, all that great flavor, the heat from the pan is going to wake that up, so we're going to extract even more flavor out of it. And the bay leaves are what's going to give it that cooked all day flavor. Okay, so to this I'm going to add, because my Italian seasoning is homemade, I'll link to that in the video description, but mine doesn't have any salt in it, so I'm going to add a little bit of my house seasoning because we need salt. We need some salt. And to that I'm going to add 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. So I love the texture of crushed tomatoes. They're a little thicker. They have a nice body to them. So we're going to get everything stirred around, get all those flavors combined in here. It's nice and quiet now. It was noisy there for a while. We're going to get everything stirred around, and then it's really hands-off time, right? We're just going to let this hang out on the stove, bubble away, simmer, and pull all these flavors together. And that's it. Let those bay leaves work their magic. I just want to make sure everything from the bottom is mixed up. All right, so we're just going to let this simmer, let everything come together for 20 minutes or so. And this is the time when you can make your pasta, get the table set, and dinner will be done. All right, so it looks like our sauce is thickened up nicely. I can see those basil leaves in there. You don't want to burn it, so give it a stir every now and again because we don't want anything on the bottom to burn. So just a couple more things to finish up this sauce. I'm going to add some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. So because this sauce is so simple, try to use the best ingredients you can. So this isn't the one from the can. This is actually from the block of cheese. And I know I just put too much in there, but it's my sauce and my cheese. So, and this is the way I like it. Get that stirred in, and it just kind of melts right into the sauce. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, one last thing. I do this for freshness. You don't have to do it. I'm just going to add a little bit of fresh basil. right on top there. Oops. You don't want to add the fresh basil while it's cooking because it will disintegrate into nothing. So we want to add that right at the end. So I'm going to pick out these bay leaves as I'm stirring it and I see them come around. One. Nobody wants to eat a bay leaf. They did their job. They imparted all of their flavor. All right. Oh, there it is. I was like, I couldn't find the second one. So I adapted this recipe from my traditional marinara sauce. You know, the one that cooks all day, the Sunday gravy that's cooking all day away on the stove. I needed something quick and easy for a weeknight. So I just kind of adapted it a bit and made this 30-minute version. And I'll tell you what, it's almost just as good, right? We pulled out all the flavor from everything. Every step of this sauce was flavor. So I wish you could smell it. It is amazing. And it only took 30 minutes start to finish. Now, before we dig in, let me share some tips for making this even better. First, as I mentioned, use the best quality ingredients you can find. I prefer to use San Marzano tomatoes for the best flavor. There's just something about them, so look for that. And if you can't find crushed San Marzano tomatoes, you can get the whole peeled ones and just crush them yourself, either in a food processor or a potato masher or your mitts, get in there. Sometimes I even add a splash of red wine when sauteing the onions. So if you have a little full-bodied red wine, like a Chianti or something laying around, just put a splash in there, stir it around, and use it to pull up the brown bits from the bottom of the pan. And don't skip the bay leaves. It gives it that simmered all day flavor. And last but not least, make a double batch and freeze it. This is perfect freezer sauce. So I've been talking enough. I want to dig in and give this a try. So I just have, this is how we would do it in my house, just a hunk of bread. I'm going in, take a swirl. It's probably a big hunk of bread. That's okay. Oh, it's sweet. And the flavor. This 30-minute marinara sauce is definitely a keeper. You won't believe it only took 30 minutes to make. There's a little zip from that little bit of crushed red pepper in the Italian seasoning blend, and it is off the charts. Oh, you guys, this is delicious. It is the perfect weeknight sauce. This isn't the only quick and easy pasta sauce. I have an incredibly easy homemade Alfredo sauce recipe you can make in only 10 minutes. Make sure to check it out here. I'll see you over there.